Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for May 6th, 2021. Now, man, with this show, man, it dude, it was boring. It felt like it was boring to me. Like, it felt like nothing happened on the show, besides the six-way qualifying matches and stuff like that. It felt like nothing like nothing big happened on the show. It just felt like the show was just there and stuff like that. And then some of the matches on this show, I really didn't care about. Like, I really didn't care about, and some of the matches did not need it to happen, but I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah, the show, it wasn't bad, but it just felt like it was boring. It felt like it was boring to me. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it was, dude. But it just felt like it was so boring. Like, it was so boring. And so yeah, that's this is the Impact Wrestling review for May 6th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. If you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And so yeah, with this, we started off the show with a one-on-one match, and it was for the six-way qualifying match. So it was Chris Sabin with James Storm in his corner versus Rhino with Violent by Design in his corner. That's Eric Young, Diener, Joe Doering. And so yeah, this is a good match. It was an okay match. So yeah, we had a drop kick to Rhino to send him outside of the ring. And then Sabin, he had used his speed against Rhino during the match. And then, Diener, he had got involved in the match behind the referee's back, so the referee didn't see it. So Diener, he had tripped up Chris Sabin. And so, yeah, Rhino, he had took control of the match during that point. And he had a short arm clothesline to Sabin. And then at one point, both of these guys, they had clucked heads with each other, so they both were knocked down on the mat. And so, yeah, so Sabin, he started fighting back with strikes and kicks. And so, yeah, at that point, we had Sabin, he had dove on Rhino outside the ring. And so yeah, we had a diving drop kick. We had a diving drop kick to Rhino, and Rhino had kicked out of the move. And so at that point, you had Diener, he had distracted the referee at that point. And so Rhino, he had caught Sabin with a thumb to the eye. And so yeah, we had a superplex, Chris Sabin, and Sabin had kicked out. And then Rhino, he tried to go for the gore, but Sabin, he had dodged the gore. We had Chris Sabin. I'm getting mixed up with Kip Sabian and Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin, he had rolled up Rhino for a cradle to pin Rhino, so Rhino, he had lost the match. So Chris Sabin wins the match and is added to the six-way scramble match at Under Siege. And so yeah, there really wasn't much to this match. It was an okay match. Really wasn't much to it. The right person did win the match. I did see Chris Sabin winning the match instead of James Storm winning the match. You know, it was either James Storm or Chris Sabin being in that Under Siege match, that six-way match. And so yeah, and it was predictable. So I went with Sabin. I went with Sabin to win the match last week. I said it. Yeah, I said it last week. So I went with Sabin. So yeah, but yeah, I didn't see Rhino in the Under Siege match. I didn't see Rhino in a six-way match. I just didn't see it. But if it was anybody from Violent by Design that was gonna qualify for this match, it was gonna be Eric Young. But Eric Young, he was hurt. But yeah, that was it with the match. And so yeah, right after that, we had Brian Myers. He was backstage and he was throwing a temper tantrum. He was upset about what happened last week with his match against Matt Cardona in that qualifying match and him losing and stuff.
Right. Oh my god, why are you always around?
What is going on here?
Because I'm pissed off. Only here in Impact Wrestling do I got to beat a guy, Matt Cardona, who I already beat to get an opportunity that I deserve. I told Scott Demore, take someone else out, put me back in. I got to have a qualifying match. This sucks.
And Rosemary interrupts.
You don't want to do that.
Why not?
Let's see. You feel like you're finished, doomed to repeat the same thing over and over and over?
A little bit, yeah.
This is you. Felt like this. It's about breaking free of old patterns and changing. You flip the table. You flip the card. And now it's your ego, keeping you from being able to change.
Cool story, bro. This and all this stuff you got going on is bull.
Oh. Purrazzo had took out Brian Myers.
You're right. That's your card.
And that was it. You know, at first when I saw it, I was like, dude, what exactly was that about? Like, what exactly does Decay have to do with Brian Myers? I didn't understand why Decay got involved in this. I don't know what they had to do with Brian Myers. You know, it's the feud is between Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, not Decay. So yeah, so yeah, they did added a match at Under Siege. So it's gonna be Brian Myers versus Black Taurus at Under Siege. I would have just saved it for Impact Wrestling instead of just adding these matches to Under Siege. So yeah, that was it with that. And with Brian Myers, man, I don't even know. I don't know what they doing with him now. Well, like I don't think he's beating Black Taurus. I don't think so. Black Taurus, he's been built up ever since he gotten to Impact Wrestling. He's been built up as a monster, you know. And I don't even think he lost a match yet. I think he may have lost one match. He may have lost one match. I think it was the Gallows. But yeah, but Black Taurus, he been winning matches. So I don't see him losing to Brian Myers. So that's why Brian Myers, he's screwed, man. He is screwed right now. So yeah, that was it with that. You know, really confused on why Decay got involved in this. And so yeah, right after that we had the Elite. We had Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and the Impact World Champion and a Triple A champion with Don Callis and the Good Brothers. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And they're backstage.
You see what we did up there? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, I would never kid you on something like that.
The beatdown of Eddie Edwards. The beatdown of him. Do they know what they're dealing with?
One more juice. I know what they're doing. Finlay.
Gentlemen,
Man, I was like, go back in time. Remember we used to beat
let's
those guys
just
up?
rewind for a second.
Look at this. Oh,
Look,
come
this
on.
is a
Don't be
problem.
Don't be a Debbie Downer, Don.
Okay.
Don't
You
be
want
a
to talk
Debbie-
about
don't be a
now?
Debbie Downer.
Every time one of them loses, our stock goes down.
That's true.
We need to focus. You guys are a little too much with the party, not enough with the winnie. Okay, can we get something going on here? Well, we need an edge. What we need is an edge.
I've got it.
Why is he healing on
Okay.
us?
No, I know why he's healing. He's got a point. We can't be losers. We got to win these matches too. As fun as it is to get a little steam. Yeah. So we need to start putting W's in the column. Look, I come from a place where wins and losses matter. Let's face
AEW.
it. They matter. Okay, so this time we're sending in the coach. We're sending the big guns. I'm gonna watch over you guys.
Coach Kenny?
I'm gonna make sure.
Kenny?
I'm gonna make sure you put a W on the board. I can't lose. Yeah, we're going back in the winner's column.
Better not.
All right. Tonight, we cool with that? Don, you cool with that?
Of course I'm gonna beat
I
like it.
Now you're part of the elite. We need to make sure all of us.
No pressure, but the greatest wrestler of the last 20,000 years is out there. So, just make sure you win, right?
I used to coach high school girls basketball. I've got the
High school girls basketball team.
Basics. The basics.
And that was it, you know, with the Elite. And so them getting the win. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so it was a match later on that night. It was supposed to be Gallows versus Juice Robinson. So that was later on tonight. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was Susan with Kimber Lee in her corner versus Taylor Wilde. And so yeah, with this match I didn't even care about this match. Did not care. But Taylor Wilde, she did look good in this match. Really did look good. So yeah, at first both of these women, they were trading waist locks. So they were going back and forth with waist locks. And we had a drop kick to Susan. And so yeah, so Kimber Lee, she had got involved in a match behind the referee's back. And so that so Tennille Dashwood and Caleb, they had came out to the ring, and so they were watching, Taylor Wilde's back, and we had clotheslines and head scissors to Susan, so Wilde was fighting back, and so yeah, we had a German suplex to Susan, and we had a hurricanrana to Susan off the ring apron, so that was a nasty spot because Taylor Wilde, she landed on her head, dude. Like when she gave the moves, she actually hurt herself, and so she landed on her head outside that ring, and she got back up. So yeah, at least she tried to attack Taylor Wilde, but Caleb had stopped her from attacking Taylor Wilde. And so yeah, we had Dashwood. She had a neck breaker to Susan behind the referee's back, so the referee was distracted with all the brawl and stuff that was happening outside the ring. And so to end the match, we had Taylor Wilde. She had a German suplex into a bridge to Susan to win the match. And Taylor Wilde, she wins the match. And that was it, man. Taylor Wilde, she did look good in this match. She looked well in the ring, hitting her moves right. And yeah, and she been out for like what? How long? 10 years? She been out for 10 years. It looked like she haven't even lost a beat, haven't even lost a step. So yeah, she really looked good tonight. So yeah, that was it with the match. And so yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champion, and she was talking about Taylor Wilde.
Deonna Purrazzo, we just watched Taylor Wilde defeat Susan. Tell me, is there any reason that we haven't seen you at ringside for Susan or for Kim as they have faced off against Taylor?
Gia, it seems like you might be implying I'm somehow avoiding Taylor Wilde. Let me be clear with you, that is not the case. Kimber Lee and Susan both need to earn the right for me to accompany them to ringside.
Rosemary again.
Oh, Deonna, stop. Gia, have you met the boys?
Hi! Hi!
You came in here with such confidence, such readiness to prove yourself as the best. And we can't deny talent, but the chatter amongst the hive right now is because you have become a bit of a coward.
Didn't I defeat you? You know what? I don't care what all of you freaks have to say. I don't need to listen to this, and I won't.
Havoc
Well,
comes up.
listen to this before you run off. What I see before me is a champion with no challengers.
Okay. You guys are right. Of course I need opponents. I am a fighting champion. Okay, so here's what I was going to do. I was going to say I'm going to find Scott D'Amore, okay? And Havoc, you should wrestle Rosemary, and I will face the winner. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna go do that.
And she lied. So yeah, she said, so Deonna Purrazzo, she said that she was gonna go to Scott D'Amore's office, but she ended up lying. We all know that she was lying. She was about to leave the arena. So yeah, so it's basically gonna be Havoc versus Rosemary next week, and the winner will go up against Deonna Purrazzo. So next week I'm going with Havoc to win the match, because yeah, Rosemary, I don't see her challenging for the women's title. So yeah, Havoc, she will win. She will beat Rosemary next week, and she'll go on to face Deonna Purrazzo at Under Siege. And so yeah, and Deonna Purrazzo should retain. Deonna Purrazzo should retain the title. And Havoc, she is a threat. She is a threat to that women's title. And just have Deonna Purrazzo win. Just have her win, so she could just solidify herself as a stronger, even more stronger champion. First off, she ended Jazz's career, and to beat Havoc, to add Havoc to that, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, and dude, there's nobody, and I mean nobody is beating Deonna Purrazzo for that title. Nobody. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had Morrissey vignette.
You may recognize this face, but you do not know the man. You associate this face with a goofy, fun-loving guy, one half of a catchphrase. But behind what you saw on screen, if you knew what to look for in my eyes, you would see somebody in agony. I don't blame blame any of the fans for the agony I was in, but what I do blame them for is the second I buckled under the pressure, you turned your backs on me. If I wasn't there to entertain you, I wasn't worth your time. You were the first to criticize. You were the first to say, he's done. And it isn't just you, the fans. It's every single member of this rotten industry. Every friend I thought I had in this business turned out to be nothing but a fraud, a fake, a phony. So it was entirely up to me to rebuild myself after I was shattered into pieces. And I did it. I rose from the ashes. I promised to be bigger and better than I've ever been. And I did it entirely on my own. So now, I'm here to make every one of you feel the agony that I once felt. And Willie Mack, at Under Siege, that starts with you.
And so yeah, that was it with W Morrissey. So it's gonna be W Morrissey versus Willie Mack at Under Siege. I would have much saved it to Impact, but they added the match to Under Siege. And so yeah, man, W Morrissey, man, he looks great, man. Physically, this dude look chiseled, man, chiseled. And dude, I'm just happy, man. Just happy for him that he got a second chance, man. Because everybody deserves a second chance, and I'm just glad he got his second chance, man, to shine and just to get an opportunity to do what he loved to do, wrestle. And so yeah, because at first, when he was in WWE, like towards his ending, like before his contract expired or before he got let go, he wasn't in the right place. He wasn't in the right place mentally or physically. He had stuff going on in his personal life that affected him. And so, yeah, he ended up getting fired for it and stuff like that. And he kept getting himself in trouble. But he ended up turning his life around. And so, yeah, now he's here in Impact Wrestling. Now, what exactly are they gonna do with W Morrissey? Like right after he get past Willie Mack, what exactly are they gonna do with him? Maybe go after the X Division Championship. I would like to see that. Send him after a championship after he's done with Willie Mack. That's what I would have do. That's what I would have done. So yeah, that was it with W Morrissey and what he had to say about Willie Mack. And so yeah, right after that we had another match. It was a 6-way qualifier match. And so yeah, it was Rohit Raju with Shera in his corner versus Trey Miguel. And so yeah, with this match, it wasn't a bad match. It just felt like this match was rushed. It felt like everything was rushed, getting their spots in, like in a quick fashion. But yeah, the right person did win this match though. Trey Miguel won the match. So yeah, so to start off the match, we had both of these guys, they'll try to outmaneuver each other, counter after counter. And so yeah, we had a back elbow to Miguel. And then Raju, he had took control during a commercial break, no picture in picture. And then Miguel, he tried fighting back. And so yeah, we had a DDT to Miguel, and Miguel had kicked out. And so Shera, he had attacked Miguel outside the ring behind the referee's back, so the ref didn't see it. And so yeah, at one point we had Raju, he targeted Miguel's arm. And so yeah, he started turning his attention to the arm. And so yeah, we had a double stomp to Raju in the back of his head. And so we had a Northern Light suplex to Raju. And then we had Miguel, he had locked in the armbar. He locked in the armbar to Raju. And Raju ended up fighting out of it. And so yeah, we had Raju, he had a Falcon's Arrow to Miguel, followed up by a crossface submission move to Miguel. Miguel had fought out of it. And so Raju, he had hit a jumping knee to Miguel. And then Raju, he tried to hit his finishing move, that drive-by knee strike. But Miguel, he had reversed it, sidestepped it, and he had locked in his submission move, that hourglass submission to Raju to win the match. So Rohit Raju, he taps out. So that means Trey Miguel, he wins the match and is added to the 6-way match at Under Siege. And so far we had Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Sami Callihan, Chris Sabin, and Trey Miguel for right now for the qualifiers for the 6-way match. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Jake something. He came out, he interrupted Trey Miguel's, his celebration. And so yeah, came out and he attacked Raju and Shera. And so that was it. And so yeah, that was it with that. A very rushed match. And so yeah, right after that, we had the Swingers Palace.
ships, you're off this boat. Walk the plank, sea hag.
I don't even know what that is.
I think he's kicking you out.
Really?
Yeah. Senior Hernandez, show her to the plank.
Come on, Swinger, this is not fair. I love this place. Let me stay.
I love this place too.
You have to let me stay. I'll do anything.
You know, there might be a job opportunity for a young lady here at Swingers Palace.
Pop 2 quarters in, pop tart, and let's
Trey
get
Miguel.
it on. I heard we're placing bets. What's going on? I know you guys heard I just qualified, right? So you know who the money should be on. What's up? That's a nice chain. It might be mine.
Yes, I'm not just here to play games. I'm here to win some championships. So sorry, guys. This is my time now.
Yeah. Real believable, the toy guy. Not playing games. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Anyone who wants to make money knows when you bet on bet.
Hey, man, I really liked what you said. There was a lot of B's in your words. But anyway, remember, I'm a former world champion too. So, you know, don't count me out.
Oh, guys, just because I haven't qualified yet doesn't mean I'm not. Tonight, I have Moose. You're looking at a former world champion who's going to be world champion again and 119th tag team champion. So, you're looking at the man who's winning this whole kit and caboodle, as they say.
First of all, Kid Caboodle, what year are you from?
Where are you from? Hey, if you win, isn't that going to cause some sort of a tussle between you guys? Aren't you friends, right?
Haven't you been in a match with your friends before? You fight. Best man wins.
Don't ask questions like that!
But Jay, can I call you Jay? I'm going to call you Jay. What do you think is the best tag team you've ever been a part of? In W, is it beer money, or is it beer guns?
Are you serious?
Yeah, very serious.
I see what you're trying to do here, man. It ain't gonna fly.
Ooh, we might just have some jeopardy here, Vanna. What do you think about that, Russian e-ball?
What about you, Sabin? Is it machine guns or beer guns?
Damn it, that is not an appropriate question!
Hey, Bravo, give the dice to somebody, man.
One last question. With you guys being tag team specialists, you really think you can do this without someone having your back?
Look, it's just like this. He does not need me at ringside to win matches, and I don't need him at ringside tonight to beat Moose.
Yeah, sure. But you stand by that? You're gonna stay in the back, right?
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Let me tell you something real quick, baby. In this world, a man only has one thing, and that is his word. And Under Siege, after I beat Moose, I'll see you there. Right here, man. All right. I got this.
Well, guess it's just you and me tonight, Swingerella number 2.
And that was it. That was it with the Swingers Palace. So you had all the qualifiers. They were betting on themselves, saying that, hey, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this 6-way eliminator match, and I'm gonna fight Kenny Omega, and I will beat Kenny Omega. And so yeah, that was it with that. And them trying to play mind games with James Storm and Chris Sabin, you know. And so yeah, right after that, we had another match, and it was Doc Gallows with Karl Anderson and Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion, and Don Callis versus Juice Robinson, who is one half of the Impact World Tag Team Champions, with David Finlay, who is the other half of the Impact World Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, with this match, I don't know why this match happened either. You know, like dude, like you couldn't put him in a ring with nobody else. And then like dude, somebody had to lose this match. Somebody had to lose this match, and the champion had lost. The champion had lost tonight, and I said this time and time again, champions should never lose in a non-title match. Never should lose in a non-title match. The only match a champion should ever lose in if it's a championship match. That's the only time a champion should lose, if it's a championship match. But this wasn't a championship match. But yeah. So yeah, we had uppercuts to Robinson, and then Robinson, he started fighting back. He had a cannonball to Gallows, and he had hit his jabs to Gallows. And so yeah, we had a roundhouse kick. We had a roundhouse kick to Juice to knock him out of the ring. And so, yeah, we had body blows and uppercuts to Juice. And then Gallows, at one point, he had bit Juice Robinson on the forehead. And then Gallows, he had took control of the match. He had a big boot to Juice Robinson, and Robinson had kicked out. And then Juice, he tried to chop down Gallows with clotheslines, but Gallows was still standing up. And so, yeah, Juice, he had targeted Gallows' leg, and he had hit a DDT to Gallows, and Gallows had kicked out of the move. And then we had Juice Robinson, he had his, he had hit his strike, his jabs, and he followed that up with the left hand from God. That's what he called it, the left hand from God to Gallows. And so at that point, you had Omega, Callis, and Karl Anderson try to get involved in the match. And so Juice Robinson, he had took out Omega and Karl Anderson. And so you had Gallows, he had hit a pump kick to Juice Robinson. And he had followed that up with a sit-out spine buster to Juice Robinson to win the match. So Doc Gallows wins the match. And right after the match, he had the Elite. They attacked Juice Robinson and David Finlay. And then Eddie Edwards had came out to the ring to help out FinJuice. And, and the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, they had took out Eddie Edwards and FinJuice, and that was it. And so I was like, why couldn't they just have the brawl instead of this match? Why couldn't they just have the brawl instead of this match? I don't even know. But yeah, still not a fan. Still not a fan of champions losing. And so yeah, that was it with that. Really much didn't care about the match. Really didn't care about the match. And then next week it's gonna be Karl Anderson. It's gonna be Karl Anderson versus David Finlay next week. So I'm guessing David Finlay is gonna beat Karl Anderson next week. That's how that's how most of this stuff works. And so yeah. But yeah, that was it with that. Right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviewed the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champion, with Kimber Lee and Susan. So Deonna Purrazzo, she was about to leave the arena. And so Gia Miller, she tried to interview her.
Excuse me, Deonna, do you have an update after your conversation with Scott D'Amore?
You know what, Gia? I don't need to give you an update on anything. I will talk to who I want, when I want. And right now, it's time for me to leave. Bye-bye.
Hey, Deonna! So nice running into you.
Pleasure's mine.
I heard you're looking for me. And it's amazing because it seems every other talent is able to find me. But look, I'm so glad that I caught you before you left the building, because I heard what you had to say, and that seems like a great idea. Havoc versus Rosemary, #1 contenders next week, because your dance card's open for Under Siege, and I know you just can't wait. You're so excited to see who's gonna win and who's gonna get a shot at that Knockouts title. May 15th, here we go. Let's find out who's challenged. This is, you know what? You should join the booking meetings once in a while. You have a good mind. I know you have this. It's in you. It's really good.
And that was it. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, it's official now. It's gonna be Rosemary versus Havoc in a #1 contenders match, and the winner will face Deonna Purrazzo at Under Siege. So yeah, as I said before, I'm going with Havoc to win the match. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match, and it was VSK versus El Phantasmo, representing the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So yeah, this is a really good match. This is a really good match right here. So yeah, at first I thought it was gonna be a squash match. But it wasn't. It was not a squash match. It was a competitive match. And so yeah, VSK. I didn't know exactly what VSK stood for, but they said it on commentary. But I forgot it. I didn't hear it. But yeah, VSK he was on AEW at one point. He was featured on AEW in these enhancement matches, but he looked good tonight. He looked better than Phantasmo in this match. So yeah, we had a Hurricane Rana to Phantasmo, and we had VSK. He had a body slam followed up by a standing splash to Phantasmo, which was a nice spot right there. And so yeah, both guys they were going back and forth with their signature moves and stuff. And you had Phantasmo. He had a springboard crossbody to VSK. He had followed up with a lion salt to VSK, and he kicked out. And then we had a running corner boot to Phantasmo. And then he followed up with a beautiful Ushigoroshi to Phantasmo. And then to end the match, we had Phantasmo. He took control towards the end of the match. He had hit a super kick, a loaded super kick to VSK to win the match. So Phantasmo, he wins the match. And so yeah, this is another thing. When he had pinned Phantasmo like the Undertaker. Like, you know how the Undertaker would hit the tombstone power driver and he'll pin his opponents, like putting their arms on their chest and just, sitting over them, like having their arms around their chest and him sticking his tongue out. He did the exact same thing. He had his tongue stuck out too, like the Undertaker. And so I don't know what that was about, but yeah, he pinned VSK like the Undertaker. And so yeah, this is a really good match. VSK, Phantasmo, they both look good, but VSK he looked better in this match. That was just me. VSK he looked better in this match than Phantasmo. But yeah, but VSK he did get a lot of offense. He got a lot of offense in his match, and it's in, I guess you can call it an enhancement match. VSK he had got a lot of offense. But yeah, this is a really good match on the show. And so yeah, right after that, we had another match. It was Kiera Hogan with Tasha Steelz in her corner versus Rachel Ellering, one half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, with Jordynne Grace, who is the other half of the Impact Knockouts Champion. And so yeah, again, still don't know why this match happened either. You know, they're fighting that Under Siege for the tag team titles. You giving, like, why is the match happening? Why can't you just give them different opponents? Give them warm-up matches before the pay-per-view. Why are they going against each other if they fighting at the pay-per-view? Why are they going against each other? Like, you giving parts of the match away. Yeah, yes, it's a one-on-one match, but it's a tag team match. Yes, it's a tag team match, but you giving parts of the match away by giving a one-on-one match with the challenger and the champion. And then another thing, somebody had to lose. The number one contender can't lose, and the champion can't lose. So somebody had to lose. And so, you know, Kiera Hogan had lost, who is the challenger. And so yeah, we had a super kick to Ellering off of a distraction. And so we had a drop kick to Ellering, and Ellering had kicked out of the drop kick. And we had a face buster to Ellering, and she kicked out again. And then both women, they took each other out with elbow strikes. And we had a running senton to Hogan. And we had a running corner drop kick to Ellering in full speed. So that was a nice spot from Hogan. And so Ellering, she had kicked out. And then to end the match, we had a black hole slam to Kiera Hogan to win the match. So Rachel Ellering, she wins the match. And that was it with that. Really wasn't much to this match. I really didn't care about the match. The match never should have happened. You could have put both of these women in matches with other people. I don't know, man. I do not know. But the bright side is the champion did not lose. That's the most important thing. The champion did not lose. But yeah, I would have got rid of the match. And then next week is gonna be the other way around. It's gonna be Tasha Steelz versus Jordynne Grace. So that's next week too. So yeah. So I'm assuming that. So I'm guessing Tasha Steelz will win. Tasha Steelz will beat Jordynne Grace next week. That's how most of this stuff works. They do it in WWE. So I don't know why they trying to act like WWE with the one, tag team partners going up against each other like a one-on-one match. I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. But yeah, right after that, we had Moose. He was backstage. He was getting ready for his match against James Storm in the main event. And so Don Callis had interrupted Moose.
And still to come tonight, the final qualifier on the road to Under Siege. James Storm and Moose renew hostilities.
Don, what the hell do you want?
Oh.
I just want to come say hi. And God, I'd heard you gotten into even better shape. I mean, I can't even believe this. What's going on? Feel good? Look great. What do you want? I know you got a match tonight. I'm kind of surprised, actually. I don't know why you're wrestling. I don't know why you're wrestling anybody. I mean, you remember Jimmy Johnson, my favorite coach, Miami Hurricanes, Dallas Cowboys? You know what he used to say, Moose? He used to say, I'm going to be very consistent in how I treat people on this team. I'm going to treat the stars like stars, and I'm going to treat the jabrones like jabrones. We know you're not a jabron, Moose. I mean, you're a 5-tool athlete. You're a star. I'm not sure why they're treating you like everybody else. You're not like everybody else, Moose, clearly. I mean, I'm just saying,
Are you trying to
we're
butter
running
me up
things
right
around
now
here.
to keep me away from Kenny? Is that what you're doing? You're trying to butter me up?
I don't want to see you go out there and get hurt against a James Storm for no reason. I mean, a qualifying match? You know what the qualifying is? This is the qualifying, Moose. I mean, you're a 5-tool athlete. You're a superstar, multi-sport athlete. You're a stud. You shouldn't have to qualify for anything, but instead, they're going to put you into harm's way so you can prove yourself. To me, all the proof is right here. What's up?
Shut your mouth. It's starting to annoy me.
I know you got to focus on this big match.
I said, shut your mouth. I have a message to go send.
Just send a message to the office for booking you in that match. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. That went well.
And so yeah, that was it. So Don Callis trying to suck up to Moose, and that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Fire and Flavor, Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan. They spoke backstage, and they were disappointed at what happened earlier tonight with Kiera, Hogan, and Rachel Ellering in the match.
God, we talking about this loss again. How many times I got to say I got caught slipping? We got caught slipping. We gonna get these belts back. We know Rachel is obviously the missing ingredient. She's the secret ingredient, the missing piece to the puzzle. What are y'all doing here?
What? Hey, Jordynne, answer me this.
Yeah.
Didn't they say they just needed a little time to prepare? And didn't they have a little time to prepare?
Oh,
A little bit?
trying to be funny.
I think yes.
Ha ha ha, y'all are so funny. You got jokes, non-factor. You don't even matter because you obviously wouldn't even have those if you didn't have her. And at Under Siege, boo, as a matter of fact, it's pretty much going to be a handicap match because you don't even matter.
So good luck, Jordynne. Good luck. Good luck, Rachel, to you two as well. I mean, you know, you are a second-generation star. You're an
golden
actual
child.
challenger here, unlike this non-factor that's standing right
You
now.
know what, Tasha? If I'm such a non-factor, you know what? Me and you actually haven't had a singles match yet. So maybe you want to step in the ring with me and see how much of a non-factor I actually am.
Oh, you want me, Jordynne?
Oh, yeah,
You
I want
want
you.
me?
Let's do it.
Then we gonna do it next week. We gonna do the dance, and that's on period.
No. Tasha, that's on exclamation point.
Ah,
Oh, they got jokes. They
We gonna
funny,
see
right?
about
We gonna see
that.
about
We
it.
gonna
You
see
got that. You got that. She a non-factor, remember? You got this.
so yeah, so it's gonna be Tasha Steelz versus Jordynne Grace next week. And so yeah, that was it with that. So before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show. So yeah, for next week we have Havoc. It's gonna be Havoc versus Rosemary with Decay in her corner. That's Crazy Steve and Black to Roos, and that's the #1 contenders match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. So whoever wins this match will go up against Deonna Purrazzo at Under Siege for the Impact Knockouts title. And so also we got a X Division Scramble match. Now this match came out of nowhere. This match came out of nowhere. No build, came out of nowhere. So yeah, it's gonna be Petey Williams versus El Phantasmo. Like, all right, El Phantasmo, TJP, Ace Austin, AC Romero, and Rohit Raju in an X Division Scramble match. AC Romero is a tag team wrestler. AC Romero, El Phantasmo, what is he doing in the match? This is his first. He had his first match tonight. And he already included in an X Division Championship match, Scramble match. Well, a #1 contenders match for the X Division Championship. Whoever wins that Scramble match, they'll go up against Josh Alexander for the X Division Championship. Dude, give him some wins first before you put him in an X Division Championship match. But yeah, that's next week. And then we have Karl Anderson versus David Finlay of Finjuice. And that's it. So that's next week's show. And so yeah, right after that we had the main event. And it was Moose versus James Storm. And the winner would go on to the qualifying match. Will go on in a 6-way match at Under Siege. And so yeah, this was good. This was good. You know, at first they were going back and forth with strikes. We had a pump kick to Storm. And then Storm, you know, at one point he had sidestepped Moose. And Moose had went flying outside the ring. And then we had Storm, he had hit a basement drop kick to Moose. And then Storm, he had hit a discus clothesline to Moose. And then Moose, at one point, he had targeted Storm's leg, which was the story of the match, the leg. So Moose, he went right after the leg over and over and over again throughout the whole entire match. And so, yeah, Moose, he had slammed Storm's leg into the guardrail. And then Storm, he tried to fight back, but it wasn't working. And so, yeah, we had a corner drop kick to Storm's leg twice from Moose. And then Moose, he, you know, throughout the match, he kept going after the leg over and over and over again. And then we had Storm, he fought back. He had a Luthez press to Moose. And he had followed up with a code breaker. So he had a Moose with a code breaker. And so, yeah, at one point they were fighting at the top of the rope. And so Storm, he tried to go for the eye of the Storm off the top rope. But his leg had gave out. So he ended up dropping Moose. So Moose had, you know, evaded the move. And so, yeah, Storm, he had hit a super kick on Moose. But he could not go for the cover because of the leg and everything. Because he hit the super kick with the bad leg. And so, yeah, so Storm, he could not go for the cover. And so the referee was about to call off the match. The referee wanted to end the match. But Storm, he was pleading with the referee not to end the match. And so, yeah, he was grabbing on the referee to try to get himself up. And so he had got up and then he had got caught with a spear from Moose. So Moose had speared Storm to win the match. So Moose wins and is added to the 6-way eliminator match at Under Siege. So yeah, so it's gonna be Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Sami Callihan, Chris Sabin, Trey Miguel, and Moose. So those are the 6 people that will be competing for the #1 contender spot, and the winner will be going up against Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Moose. He had went under the ring. He had grabbed a chair, and he had went into the ring. And he had wrapped the chair around James Storm's leg. And so yeah, he had stomped on the chair. He had stomped on the chair, injuring James Storm's leg. And so James Storm, he was yelling and screaming because, you know, his leg had got snapped. And so yeah, right after that, we had Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin had came out. He ran out to the ring to check on James Storm. And I was like, dude, why didn't he come out earlier? Why didn't he come out earlier? He should have came out as soon as Moose put his hands on that chair. As soon as Moose had grabbed the chair, that's when Chris Sabin should have came out. But he waited after, you know, James Storm got his leg broken. So yeah, I didn't understand that. Even the commentary team had asked that, you know, if you think, like they asked, you know, if Chris Sabin would have been out earlier, don't you think that, you know, James Storm, his leg wouldn't have been broken? But yeah, so yeah, that was it with that. You know, that was it with the show. You know, it felt boring, dude. The show, I'm being honest, man. The show felt boring. It felt like nothing exciting happened. It felt like nothing happened on the show, like nothing. It felt like it was a nothing show, nothing. But yeah, I do have news on Moose though. Moose, his contract is expiring for Impact Wrestling in June. He did mention that on Twitter. He said that his contract is expiring in June. So, will he stay in Impact? Yes or no? I don't think so. I don't think he will. I don't think he will stay in Impact. I think he'll go somewhere else, probably at AEW. But yeah, he said that, you know, before he leave, you know, before his contract expire, you know, he want his hands on the Impact World Championship. So I don't think he's gonna win the Impact World Championship. He should have won the championship sooner. Like, you know, before the pandemic, he should have won the championship before that. You know, when, you know, they put the championship on Tessa Blanchard over Moose. And I think Moose, he should have been champion during that time when Sami Callihan was the champion. And you had Moose there. Moose should have been a champion. But yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, that was it with Impact Wrestling. Really, really boring show. Really boring show. And you could tell by the sound of my voice. But yeah, if you liked the video, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, I guess. I guess on Tuesday. Tuesday for NXT. And yeah, man. And if you missed my video from last week, if you missed my review from last week for Impact Wrestling, the video is going to be right up here. Video is going to be right up here. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.